Welcome back to our channel. We are in week 10 after receiving a catastrophic flood that ripped through the entire ground floor of our home. Our home is an English manor house that dates back to 1658 and we call it no ordinary home. We're just an ordinary couple living in no ordinary home. So today I'm going to show you through these double doors. That room is the French salon. Just take a seat for a moment. This used to be an archway. We had these doors made because this was one room we wanted to surprise people with. Something completely spectacular. The room that I'm sitting in, we call this the morning room. It's just an overspill dining room really, where we can just have a gathering, small lunch or something like that. The murals I imported from Mexico, and this was my COVID project, putting this all around the room. It's really stunning. Anyway, without further ado, let's go and have a look at the French salon. But please bear in mind, it's not at its best because of this catastrophic flood. You can see the damage to the carpet, first thing you'll notice. So we'll have a little pan around the room and then we'll talk about some of the objects and a little bit about the damage in here. We've currently got a heater on at the moment to try and extract or help some of the damp. We're quite thankful that it doesn't actually smell in here, but you would think it would do after what we've experienced. So let's first of all have a little look at this. Now you will be able to go back and see him again because there will be a tour of the military uniforms. I did mention that the man of the house, it's his hobby. But what I wanted to say to you about this was this man was sold to us as a Captain Cuttle. And I think I've mentioned before, we go to a lot of these collectible sales or you just have warehouses full of stuff. Captain Cuttle. So we got him home and we started researching this Captain Cuttle. And do you know what? He don't exist. So of course, there we are emailing away saying this man doesn't exist, it's not Captain Cuttle, you've made it up. Well, I think the dealer wanted to keep his reputation. So what did he do? He sent all our money back and he said, well, you can keep him. So we did. And then we found a uniform to match. These are just lamps. We've got dimmers. We don't know if they work because all the plugs were on the floor and they went under the wood. The chairs and the furniture in here, it's rather an unusual colour. It is bright yellow even. The chairs itself were wood. I did look at gilding them, but I got one box half an hour later and I thought, no, it's going to take me years to do this. So I changed my mind. I did make the cushions and I did also cover up all the studwork with this braiding. Believe it or not, it took 2 years to find this fabric because I just knew it's what I wanted. I wanted bright yellow fabric. And I think it's stunning. We've covered them. We've not really used this room because there's a big debate about the fireplace, which I'll move on to. But you can see all this full of mud. This next object, we don't know what it is. We bought it. It was sold to us as a fire screen. No, that's not a fire screen. No. But obviously the colours fitted in with the room. It's got a beautiful fabric that fits into the room. So could this be some sort of makeup mirror where you would put your stuff on there and sit and make up? We thought music stand, but there's nowhere for the actual scores to go, so it can't be that. So the jury is still out on that one. Next we'll turn to this gorgeous footstool. Again, another antique and collectibles thing, and that was brown, other fabric. So reupholstered that, mud, and that just sits in front of the fireplace. We've never had this fire on because we were told by the lady's gardener that don't, whatever you do is put the fire on, because all you're going to do is fill your room full of smoke and it will stink for months. So the idea is we wanted to put one of these flame effect gas fires in, and no one could seem to make the firebox. I think this was hours and hours of work going through various places. No one could get this firebox for us, so I think the plan now is to scrap the swan's nest basket and buy just an octagonal basket, and then they will be able to make the firebox. Got another armchair there, a lovely sofa, and that's got these cushions which came from the Buckingham Palace shop, with a quirky lamp. There he is. I'll have a big pan of the room in a minute. Another armchair. Look at this. George IV table, muddy legs. Look. More pictures. I just want to show you the room in full. As we start here, you can see that we've put mirrors on the back of these doors because we wanted this beautiful mirrored effect. The mirrors are rather dusty at the moment. Oh, quickly, I'll just pan back. Another painting. We do know who he is, but the man of the house will do a tour of the paintings probably, as well as the uniforms. We can find out more about him. Above the fireplace, we've got that beautiful phoenix lamp, which is a gift. And this for me is the spectacle of the room. Look at that. And I'm going to tell you now, in this room there are no less than 50 bulbs, because we wanted a really brightly lit room. I've turned the dimmers down for you, but everywhere is rather dark, as you know. So we wanted one room you can come into and it's nicely lit, and that is this one, the French Salon. More mirrors, every surface has got mirrors. We've still got more things to add here, but sometimes we fall out about it because we've both got different tastes and want different things. So I'll quickly show you as well this ceiling painting. Now, we weren't expecting this to be here when we came, but for some unknown reason, the previous owners had to leave in a rush. And according to the solicitors, whatever they don't take is yours. Now, up here, she's got a painting of herself. That is the previous owner, the lady. I've never met her. I've never even seen who she is. Everybody else has seen this lady but me. But it's a stunning painting. We don't know whether that crack is down to the flood, but if it is, then it can be rolled off the ceiling, sent away, ceiling replastered, and then that would then come back to us. Another feature of this room I wanted to show you were these lovely, lovely swan lamps. I'll just show you these. They're just so quirky and different. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they came from one of those fairs where there's just tons and tons and tons of stuff for you to wade through. Antiques, collectibles, all sorts of things from all over the place. So thinking about the damage in this room, it's mainly just the floor. This rug obviously needs to go. because that cannot be revived, unfortunately. But luckily I did find one on the internet the same as this. So yeah, so anyway, more mud. Just to give you a final update, then we have some really lovely videos coming up. We are going to show you the grand kitchen, well I will. The man of the house is going to do a tour of all the uniforms, of which we've got a few. Then there will be a tour of the suits of armour, which you haven't seen. And also, don't forget, we've got this Art Deco theatre. 1930s Art Deco theatre, beautiful red theatre seats hidden in the middle of the house. So I'm looking forward to showing you that. So for now, final quick view. This is the French Salon in no ordinary home, an English manor house that dates back to 1658.